Welcome to another episode of Think Pieces and Conversations. Think deeper. I tried I tried to come out with a little slogan. I messed that up. I messed that up bad. But listen, look, I got a philosophy for you. I got a philosophy that I've been using in my life lately, right? This is gonna give you a little bit of it's like a mental superpower. It's like a mental superpower, right? It's like a mental tool. I'm not gonna talk about being positive. No, no. And I'm definitely not gonna talk about being negative. There's another tool that I use or that I've been using, especially today while I was at work. And this tool is called indifference. Now you say, eight. What you mean about indifference? So you're not gonna talk about thinking positive. You're not gonna talk about negativity. You're gonna talk about indifference. So what you mean? Like think nothing of a situation or think neutral of a situation? Yeah, kind of, sort of. You on your way. You getting warmer. When you're positive, when you're thinking positive about something, you gotta kind of be delusional on whatever the situation is. So, for example, if something happens that you didn't quite expect or you don't want to happen, or a certain outcome, say if you trip and fall, or you almost fall, or somebody doesn't respond to something the way that you want, you could think positive about the situation. And there's a little delusion there because you don't know exactly what a person's saying. If a person is trying to play you, or they're being dismissive, or anything of that nature. If you think positive about it, like, oh, they just busy right now, or you kind of making up a situation because you don't know what's going on. You don't know. Somebody cuts you off in traffic. You don't know what they're thinking in their head. You taking it personal, right? So thinking positive is, oh, that person is just trying to get over to the other side. They didn't want to take the next exit, so they just cut a couple lanes, or just use your imagination on this. When you're indifferent, you think nothing of it. Let me describe how this works. When you think nothing of it, there is no thought on the other side of your head that's thinking negative. There's not a thought on the other side of your head that's thinking positive. When you don't think nothing of a situation, when you just act like it doesn't exist, or it means nothing in the grand scheme of what your day is, or what you are, or who you are, it has zero power. That's the power of indifference. That's the power of not thinking nothing of a situation. Now, this power of indifference is sort of a this is a requisite of what you'll gain when you reach a certain level of mental fortitude in your life. You've done the positive work. You've done the shadow work of going through negative situations and figuring out, okay, I got to use this negative situation as a positive. I got to use this as a tool to create me. This is just a trial by fire, right? The tool of indifference is asking a question: why? Why is this perceived negative situation negative at all? You ask yourself questions. In my brain, I ask myself questions at lightning speed. So maybe my brain is a little different. Now, for somebody that doesn't think as fast as me, that doesn't think 742 million miles per second as I do, you might think a little slower. Think about whatever situation you're going through, right? When you think negative about something, it's taking away power from you. You're exerting some sort of stamina within your system, a stamina that is not like when you're picking up things, running, jogging. It's not like none of that. It's mental stamina, because you're actively using a thought to think negative, to dwell on something. It keeps taking away your power. Even when you think positive on something, something crazy could have happened, or something not to your liking could have happened, but you force yourself to think positive on it. The force between the negative thought and the positive thought is taking away mental stamina from you. You understand? Something that you can't see. There's something within your hard drive, within your system, that's actively working. You see the task manager on a toolbar? You ever looked at the task manager on the toolbar? On your computer? You ever seen a task manager? So this task manager, right? Everybody has one. Everybody has a task manager. This thing is small. Like, everybody has a task manager. You see, I got OBS Studio up. That's taking up a percentage. I got some other applications up that's taking a percentage away from my computer, my RAM, my memory, my graphics card, depending on what that is. You see what I'm saying? Your human body, your body is just like this. Everything is using up something. And the power of indifference is like playing a video game, a very high intensity video game, and changing the graphics to ultra performance. You understand? For all the gamers out there, using changing the settings to low settings so the hardware in your systems is not working as hard. The fans in your computer isn't blowing as hard or blowing as fast, or your CPU isn't running as hot. Your CPU is your mind. You dig me? Your CPU is your mental stamina. Sometimes, most times, it might not even be the physical work that's getting you tired. It's the mental. It's a mental aspect. You see me, I work outside, right? I work outside. And after a while, things no longer become a physical thing. It becomes mental, especially during the duration of you working outside, me working outside. So after a while, it becomes a mental game. Yo, you're a little tired. Take this little time out, drink some water. All right, cool. Okay, we got to lift up all this. Cool. Let me just get it done. I already got the technique to lift these things up in this amount of time without hurting myself. All right, cool. Let's get the job done. Let's not complain. Let's be indifferent about it. I'm not going to be in this situation forever. This is like a 20, 30, 40 minute job. Let's get it done. Yeah, you're going to sweat. That's a part of this. That's a part of it. That's natural. Sweating is natural. You getting your bread, you getting your money, you working hard for it. Why think negative about it? Get your bread, get your money, you earned it. Maybe that's positive energy, but I'm saying you're indifferent about the situation. Look, it is what it is. It is what it is. Takes way less mental power from you. You're conserving your energy, right? There is something somewhere everywhere. I need you to get that into your head. There's something somewhere everywhere. The tool set of thinking positive is good. The upper echelon of that is thinking indifferently about a situation. Imagine your girl breaks up with you, or you break up with a girl, or you stop talking to a friend because of whatever, and you keep thinking about the situation that happened. You're like, yo, I can't believe this happened. I had to break up with her. I had to get rid of him. I had to go away. I had to. Or you, maybe that's a little harder to be indifferent about. Or you walk up into work and this chick, you notice y'all usually say hi, but today she ain't say nothing to you. She just walked past you. You could think about it like, oh, you just being fraudulent today. But why think like that? That's gonna have your mind imagining things and coming up with your own conclusion. Why think like that? Why give that thought energy at all? Why just walk past, think nothing of it, dwell on it for 2 seconds, and be like, that doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Who knows what's going on? Well, something's probably going on. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not in her mind. I don't. Why should I waste any mental energy on that thing? Let me be indifferent about it. Let me not place a value. Don't place a value on something that happened or something small that occurred. There's no reason to place a value on it. Once you place a value on something, it takes away, it pulls. You understand? It pulls from you. Give me that. Something small is being taken every time you think a negative about it. Every time you think, nah, that didn't happen. Nah, let me think this way. Don't think about it at all. Be indifferent about it. That's the next level of your pathway into being the best human being that you could possibly can be. I'm learning every day about myself. You understand? This skill set is something that I came up with just everyday life. I just thought, like, why do I need to think anything about a situation I have? Why do I need to think anything about a late text message? Why do I need to think anything about what happened 4 days ago? That was 4 days ago. Why do I need to think anything about what happened an hour ago? That was an hour ago. Why do I need to think anything about what happened a minute ago if it doesn't glance into a problem that happens in the next minute? A physical problem. They say that 99% of the pain is self-inflicted, right? Most of our pain, damn near all of our pain is self-inflicted. That doesn't mean physical. You're not having physical pain, especially if you're a healthy young adult. You're not having physical pain all the time. You hit your elbow on a corner. You hit your toe on a corner. You cut your hand, paper cut. You punch a wall or you, that's temporary pain. Unless you broke something, that's temporary pain. Most of the pain that you're dealing with on a daily basis is all mental. It's all mental. Think about it. Ponder it. Just think about it. Right? You hear those embers in the back every time when you think on that negative situation that happened a couple years ago. You're like, damn, man, those are some great guys that I was friends with. It's crazy how that thing happened. Oh, damn. It's 7 years, 8 years later. Why are you still thinking about that? That's a part of life. You must understand that everything is a part of the journey. Every single trial, every single obstacle that you've been through, went through, you still alive, ain't you? Right? You still alive. You still got opportunity. You still got breath in your lungs. Why do you need to think about that at all? Why do you need to place any... Why do you need to think about that so much? Be indifferent about it. You already thought about it. You already went through the pain of it. Be indifferent about it. That's life. That's life. Indifference is how you get to the next level of this mental game. You need to be indifferent about it. Please like, subscribe to the channel for more think pieces, for more conversation. I'm out of here.